Hey, Natasha Larilos here with Big Rock Organics for week 10 of the CSA. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. So everything is looking good. We are getting a lot of rain this week, which will help all the new fall crops that we've planted. But we got a lot of fun stuff today. So stay tuned with me as we go through our box. Of course, we've got these beautiful bounty of peppers. And if you're saving up some peppers, one of my favorite things to do is to make stuffed peppers, and that is so easy to do and it's delicious. And also this week being a little cooler, you can also make a version of stuffed pepper soup, which has all of the flavor and fixings but is in just a nice soup form. So we'll include a couple of ideas and recipes with that. But the nice thing about stuffed peppers is that they're like a little meal to go, and you can basically make them any direction you want. You can make Mexican stuffed peppers, you can make Italian stuffed peppers, you can do just any flavor. You can do like a curry, any flavor that you want. So you can stuff them this way where you cut the top off, or for a more manageable serving size, cut them long ways here, and so you'll end up with two halves, and that is a little more manageable, and they bake up nicely, and you can put a whole cookie sheet of them together, and that's a great idea. So stuffed peppers are wonderful. Otherwise, add them to a stir fry, add them to a saute. You can also freeze peppers, and that is really helpful. I did that last year, and I actually ended up not needing to buy a single pepper. I used my frozen peppers, and so I just chopped them and I put them in a bag in the freezer, and they were great to just take out frozen and saute. Very, very easy. Adding to our peppers this week, we have some beautiful jalapenos. These are actual, just regular jalapenos. Now, a quick funny story. Last year, in an attempt to have a more mild flavored hot pepper, I got a variety called Jalapeño, which was a not hot jalapeno, which actually was really disappointed because they had absolutely no flavor. So this year we're back to the traditional jalapeno. These are nice. They're not going to be super, super hot, and those are great to add in. Now, if you like the heat, go ahead and keep the seeds and everything in the middle. Just chop the whole thing. If you're not too keen on the heat, take and hollow out the seeds and the white pith and everything, and then that way you won't get as much heat. Now, I do still recommend either having a pair of disposable gloves, or just use a plastic bag as you cut these guys, because even though they're not very hot, they're still going to give you that lovely burning sensation anywhere that you touch after you've cut them. And I did that the other day, and it was not so pleasant. So I'm gonna say, just use precaution with any hot pepper, just because of that wonderful oil that they have in them. We've got some onions this week. We are transitioning away from those red onions into the white ones, and these are just so cute and beautiful, and they smell wonderful. Again, because they're fresh onions, you're gonna wanna keep them in the fridge, and you're probably gonna need to cut the tops off here before using them, but they're just really lovely, and they smell delicious, and I think they're so shiny, like little pearls. So onions, always delicious onions, and one can never have too many onions. I feel they always are essential to everything that I cook. All right, so we're bringing back, we have some of those giant Kossak kohlrabi, and these guys are longer storage type kohlrabi. So we've had these guys growing in the field, and they can grow really, really, really big. So if you see some big ones, don't be afraid. They are just a large storage type kohlrabi, so their goal is to actually get really big. So yeah, we've got some kohlrabi back this week. Enjoy that raw, enjoy it shredded. Kohlrabi is always a fun, welcome vegetable to have. We've got some little baby Pac Choi this week. We've got some kale this week, and we're probably going to be giving our kale and our chard a rest as we're trying to get some of the new fall crops here in the next couple of weeks. So make up a nice little salad with these guys, or add them to a soup or a saute. We've got those lovely cucumbers. Hope you're enjoying them. And we made cucumber sandwiches the other day, which is just something that's kind of old-fashioned. I love the fact that my husband loves them so much. We actually Oh gosh, I would make them at the shop for our luncheons, and he would always love sneaking them. And even when we were dating, we used to go to fun big band dances. There was one time they had the little cucumber sandwiches, and he just loved them. And everybody who was older, senior citizens, they just thought he was the cutest thing in the world because he ate the little tiny cucumber sandwiches. So anyways, if you haven't had a cucumber sandwich in a long time, you want to buy the little cocktail bread and cream cheese. I like a nice herb cream cheese, or even like a herb goat cheese. Spread that on there. Slice your cucumbers like diagonally so you get a nice slice that's going to cover the whole thing, and because these are not, you know, super big around. And then a little bit of chopped dill, and I use that dill that I've frozen earlier in the year, and I just take a little bit of that, sprinkle it on top. I like a crack of salt and pepper on the top as well, but you can season as desired. And they are just so cool, crisp, and refreshing, and they really are dainty and just make you feel like you're at a little tea party. So don't forget the cucumber sandwiches, folks. They are a nice light addition and a nice snack as well. So those are always fun. We've got, of course, lots of squash. I thought maybe the squash would be cooling down just a little bit, you know, like lessening with the cool down effect in the rain, but it's still going strong. And we've got some of the patty pans thrown in there and the other ones. And yeah, if you get overwhelmed by squash, just put it in everything. Simple as that. Just grate it up and literally put it in everything. I have really enjoyed, we went to a neighbor's and she makes these delicious zucchini boats, and they are so fantastic. So you just cut them in half, scoop them out, and these work well actually with the little bit larger ones, but she puts like a crumbled Italian sausage in there and then cheese on top and grills the whole thing, and they are still a little crunchy, which I love. And so you could put marinara sauce on there if you want. You can put any seasoning, and it's just something fun and a different way to eat the zucchini. But of course, you know, shred it and put it into everything and anything. You really can disguise it in quite a bit of stuff. So someday you're gonna thank me, because, you know, one of these days there won't be the plethora of squash. Yes, we'll all be sighing relief, but you should use as much of it in as much as you can, because it's a great way to add that little pack of flavor and nutrients. So lots of squash. Okay, we got our beets this week. Beets are back. Now, we've just had so many great beets this year. We actually just managed to fit in our second crop of beets and whatnot. So just enjoying beets, and make a nice cold marinated salad that you can eat for several days. Some flavors that go great with beets are feta crumbled on top. Balsamic is always really delicious, but you know, roasting them and then having a nice cold salad means you can eat them for several days, even up to a week or so. I'm gonna hopefully be making some pickled beets today because it's raining. I have a little bit of a breather on farm work, and I'm gonna try to get some things processed up that are waiting for me. We got lots of carrots coming. The carrots should be a staple here for a while. We've got a pretty decent carrot crop, and bless everybody's hearts, we're working hard on weeding our second crop of carrots. These are those rainbow ones. I just think they're such fun colors and everything like that. Lots of carrots. Oh gosh, if I really was feeling motivated, I would make a carrot cake, of course. You can do a carrot zucchini cake. That's always delicious, but you know, a grated carrot salad is wonderful, especially with all those fun colors and things like that. So again, you know, nice cold salads. I have this Slavic background, and they are just champions for all the delicious cold salads. And so, you know, cold cucumber dill salad, and pickled beets, and like a carrot salad with raisins and different things like that. Just great ways to kind of create different textures for your palate and different flavors. So, you know, if you've done a few cooked carrot dishes, you can try, you know, a couple of the cold salads. And that always helps in this hot weather to have something that you don't have to cook and you don't have to turn the stove on. But of course, roasting is wonderful, brings out the magic and the flavor as well. And you can throw several things from the box together. You know, that kohlrabi and the carrots would be really good. And of course, some onion thrown in there, so that all makes a delicious roast. Even the squash added at the last minute would be a great medley in here as well. Okay, and then I'm just saving some of the best things for last. We've got corn this week. We partner with a local farmer who does the corn for us, and we've got both bicolor corn, and I think the bigger ones are bicolor. Those are the yellow and white, and then we've also got white corn, and those are the ones that are a little smaller, a little more delicate, and that is white corn. So these guys are delicious, and we haven't quite had the property to grow corn in the past, and so we found a really great local farmer that we partner with for the corn. And maybe next year we've got a little more property we've acquired. We'd like to, you know, play around with growing some corn ourselves as well. But it is such a short season, and you know, we do so many other things as well. So we've relied on the help of those guys for your corn. So enjoy that. I don't even know if I need to say much about the corn. Shuck it, cook it for a scant couple minutes, or if you haven't tried raw corn before, try that. It's really, really good. I love to grab an ear as I'm driving back from picking up corn and I eat it. It's really milky and it's really juicy and sweet. And you haven't lived till you've eaten raw corn. It's delicious. I also like to use the raw corn in salads and things like that because it's got a little pop and a little crunch. So it kind of almost gives you like the essence of like a nut or seed or something in the salad. So yeah, those are a couple fun things that you can try with the corn. And I know everyone's so been looking forward to corn, so I'm like, I don't even know that I need to give you that many ideas for the corn. And then last but not least, we do have another little fun bundle. What do we have in this bundle today? We have Thai basil. I think Thai basil is just simply beautiful with those dark purple and green contrasts. But it is so delicious. So my favorite dish, very easy to make, we'll be putting a recipe in for a Thai basil stir fry. You can make it, our preference is beef, but you could make it vegetarian. You can make it with any protein that you want. And you want to use that jalapeno, your peppers, all your different squashes and veggies in there. And it's so easy to make at home. I'm still trying to perfect some of those delicacies from our favorite takeaway restaurants, but this is definitely one that I'd say, you know, it's a fun dish to try. And as soon as you start kind of delving into some of those ethnic foods, you start to develop like, you know, all the weird sauces and things that you have in your stash. So you can make a Thai basil dish and cook up your white rice. We like basmati, but jasmine is typically used in Thai food, and you can have that leftover rice and then create a stir fry. And so when we do our Asian meals, we typically do a curry followed by a stir fry and a fried rice meal a couple of days later, or you can do something like a, you know, fried rice, or I'm sorry, you know, Thai basil with the white rice and then follow it up with, you know, another meal a couple of days later with fried rice. So anyways, lots of good food this week, lots of good flavors. We have so many great things that are coming down the pipeline, and we're hoping that after this week being a little drier towards the end of the week, we can dig some potatoes for you next week. We were hoping to have those in the box this week, but it really got rainy here on us yesterday and today, and the soil's gonna be wet for a couple of days. So potatoes, hopefully fingers crossed for next week. And if you haven't had our potatoes yet, you're in for a treat because they are delicious. So enjoy your box. Sorry I rambled on a little bit today, but I hope you enjoy cooking everything, and I hope we've given you some ideas. Check out the comments below, the description for our recipes, and a list of what's in your box. Thanks guys for joining me, Natasha Lewis with Big Rock Organic.